I'm sorry.
3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome to Super Happy Fun
Podcast.
Fun Time with your hosts Isaac Nery,
Samuel Masih,
Benny Bradfor,
Jude Anthony Diaz Corleone.
So, to start off, we'll be asking Hubert Nery a couple of questions. So, to begin, our first question that we'll be asking you is, do you think that belief affects people in a societal level and also on an individual level?
Definitely it affects people both in a societal level and as in an individual level. The societal way that it affects how people create laws and which laws people will back up, what they will stand up for, and what they will protest against. So definitely in society it affects them. As far as individually, it affects how each person makes their decisions, not just for themselves, but in how they treat others and how they raise their children, how they treat their parents.
Thank you for that. And so the next question is, could you give us maybe an example or maybe an experience that you've had that has really affected you personally?
Well, myself, I feel like I've lived two separate lives. When I was younger, I lived a party life. I loved to go to parties. I did a lot of drugs. I lived a very promiscuous lifestyle. It was part of the way I believed. I didn't care about how my actions affected others, but also I went through different belief systems. I was raised a Catholic. At one point I became an atheist, maybe even worse than just an atheist. At any rate, now I am a Bible reader. I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and I try to live my life as best as I can, not just for myself and not just for my belief in God, but I believe that my actions should not adversely affect the people around me. So I try to be the best person I can be according to what I've read in Bible scriptures. And that is my belief system.
Thank you for that. And so, just to end it off, we'll ask you this last question. Do you think that this type of effect that our beliefs have on us, is that something that we should continue to have affect us, or do you think that it's something that maybe we should try and stay away from?
I think people need to have a belief system. We need to have something that guides our moral outlook. If we don't have that, then our own actions could affect others in a bad way. And we don't want that. It just makes the world a worse place. If we can't guide our own values, then others people's lives will be affected in a bad way. So basically, yes, I think we should adopt a belief system, and it should not be just based on ourselves, but how our actions affect others.
So just to kick us off, just a reminder, how does belief affect us? So let's just kick it off with everybody's opinions. How do you guys feel about this topic? So Sam,
I believe that at least looking throughout history, I believe that it's affected us negatively throughout history.
I believe I think belief is the compass of all the decisions we make.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. I agree with you. Let's see maybe an example of that. Sam, could you bring up anything that you thought was interesting, maybe?
Well, I like to bring up the Crusades, as like I previously said, it affected us negatively as seen in history, and they tried to basically secure Jerusalem. So during the whole Crusade era, a lot of casualties and a lot of pillaging, and of course, all the bad stuff. So yes.
All right, cool. Yeah.
And for me, religion's
all or nothing.
All or nothing. All or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
All or nothing kind of thing for me, because the war they've been fighting over this non-existent holy land. They believe in one thing, but the Muslims they believe that their religion is right. The Christians.
Benny, what are your thoughts on this?
Maybe we'll come back to you, Jude, after.
With this topic, it got me thinking about Hitler.
Oh yeah.
And, his influence on the country of Germany and what he was able to achieve in a short amount of period of time.
Yeah.
Especially when tensions were high in the world. There was a lot of, not just with Germany, just like the world in general.
Yeah.
It's very like a lot of tension.
Yeah, lots of tension
between the countries.
Post-war.
Post World War One, and then he came back up, promising Germany all.
Well, yeah.
Basically make Germany great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he believed that.
Hitler apparently did not have religious views. He knew that in order to achieve power in Germany, he needed to have some sort of religious belief to gain the trust of the people.
Well,
There's also, sorry, I just want to add to this. I don't
go
think
ahead.
it's just the violent acts. I think that there's also a little bit of the way he spoke. There's a lot of, when it comes to choosing leaders,
like
people choose,
he's like a sociopath.
because he used, if you have charisma, then people want to be with you.
Hitler really spoke like he really believed that like his words would come to life.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what made him more.
If you speak with and confidence
and believing,
if you
keyword believing in what you're talking about.
If you believe in what you're speaking, that most likely will influence the people.
Yeah, that really does.
He
and that
also promised like all of Germany that he would, reform like their entire country after World War One.
They were in
they were in massive amounts of debt.
Yeah, and you know what? In some ways
they were blamed.
And
he provided.
Yeah, he provided.
Hitler believed that the blame was to be on the Jews, so...
Yeah. And also, it is believed that also stems from his belief in the Aryan master race. And that's also... His belief in that is what then fueled his conquest against the Jews. And so his belief is what motivated him to do that. So it affected him to take action, whether for better or for worse. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Did you guys have any other points? Because that was a good conversation. Would you guys have any other points that you'd like to bring up? Any other examples, maybe?
For my early life, I'd say I was for sure Catholic because I was indoctrinated into my parents said that God is real, love everyone, Jesus Christ died for our sins.
Sorry. So, have those ideals that Jesus love everybody, because that's one way that those beliefs would have affected you. Had that made an impact on you, or would you say that you didn't really care about that?
Let me just say this: love everybody. I don't know how I feel about that. I just live my own way. Yeah.
So you would say that you disagree with the beliefs that you were taught.
Like God has a plan for you.
Yeah.
I believe that you have to take control of your own life.
Yes.
That nothing's promised.
Maybe that was God's plan.
Yeah.
So do you believe in an afterlife? I believe in rebirth.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
I believe in rebirth as well.
Yeah. So, what do you mean by rebirth? Do you mean rebirth into? I can't remember. Is it Buddhist, the one where they you treat people badly, and then you turn into a smaller?
A lot of the spiritual religions
believe in rebirth.
Yeah.
So I guess that would influence your life, and I guess.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, because you want to. Because if you want to be reincarnated into something, back into a human, right? You want to treat others with respect. So you
want to treat others the way you would want to be treated.
Exactly.
That's what my dad always said.
Yeah.
Society.
Yeah, and how do you think that would affect society though? Man, if everybody treated each other with that kind of respect, that'd be interesting. Benny.
Yes.
Did you want to continue what you were saying?
Yeah, I was just saying that past death, there has to be something.
Yeah.
There's some theories going around saying that, the saying, my life just flashed before my eyes.
Yeah.
Well, after your life flashes before your eyes and you see the light, apparently that's your new mom's vajayjay.
Oof.
And
yeah. Okay, that might be interesting.
Like the light, like the doctor.
Oh, yeah, I know that theory, yeah.
It'd be awesome if you could have some sort of, what do you call that?
Memory of your previous life?
Yeah, of your previous life to right your wrongs so that you can become a better person and make yourself more successful in your next life. You feel?
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Sam, did you have anything that you'd like to talk about what you believe in, how that affects us today?
I mean, originally I was brought up in a Christian household, and just like what Jude said, I was taught to, just like love everyone and stuff. And later on in life, I kind of realized that, it seems kind of far-fetched that this ambiguous person in the sky just kind of sets everything up for us. I mean, like, I don't know what the belief is called, but like, I wanna believe that there's a God, but I kind of just, like, I don't have the evidence yet.
Just can't.
Yeah, I just can't simply believe.
Well,
I need something like factual or like realistic.
And I understand that. That is a completely understandable idea. That's an understandable belief to bring it back, right? And so, I was also brought up in a religious household. I did believe. Both my parents are Jehovah's Witnesses, and so am I. And they taught me to love my neighbor as I would myself, to treat my neighbor as I would myself. And so that way of thinking has led me to a way that I treat others with the same amount of respect, like the golden rule. Treat others how you want to be treated. And that's led me to how I not just speak to people, how I act with people, right? And I find that has affected me for a benefit. Like, I've gotten so much out of it. I've realized, like how nice it would be if everybody treated each other like that. If everybody treated each other how they wanted to be treated, you wouldn't see wars, you wouldn't see fighting, you wouldn't see bullying, you wouldn't see pain like we do now. Alright? And so it's interesting to talk about because so many people have different beliefs on the same religion, right? And each of those beliefs are affected on a societal level. So after all we've discussed, so we'll bring it back. I'm just going to ask the question so you guys can premeditate on it. Should religion continue to change people? Why or why not? What should happen instead, if so? So I'll let you guys think about that for a second, and then we'll bring it back to the podcast.
So what was the question again?
What should happen to our beliefs?
I'll read it out.
Yeah.
Should religion continue to change people?
Change the beliefs. Should our beliefs continue to change people? And so just before we end this podcast, we're just gonna see how our conversation has affected each of our hosts here. All right, 3, 2, 1. And so we're just gonna go around the circle and just ask people what they think about religion now. Should it continue, or beliefs? Should it continue? Should it continue to affect us? Just overall, what have you gotten from this discussion?
Nothing.
So he's out of the group.
Yeah, we're made out of the group, yo.
Sam, did you want to kick us off?
Sure, yeah. I feel like we're at a good spot right now, mainly because I don't want to, like, change anything. Yeah, I don't want to change anything.
Yeah, you still believe in what you believe at the beginning of the podcast?
Yeah, I just think society should just stay the same as it is. Like, with the whole, if religion is completely removed, then our mindset will be like very, like,
I agree.
single-minded.
Yeah, I think so too.
But the fact that religion exists, it's kind of like open-minded belief, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I believe religion held us back many centuries of potential scientific progress.
Yeah.
Because many people back in the time just straight relied on God to, like, they hoped that God would fix their any medical issues instead of just trying to strive for better medicine.
Okay, interesting.
So true.
Benny?
What do you think, like, now, if religion was completely removed, would it like further scientific research?
I feel like now we can understand we can understand and separate religion just like out of everything we do in terms of like just anything scientific.
Did you have any lasting thoughts that you wanted to mention before we cut it off?
I literally forgot them all. No.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, it's a good discussion. Hopefully, we'll do this again one time. Signing off in 3.
Signing off.
You didn't even ask Benny.